All right, you have fun at Tubby's. Yep. Okay, see ya. Being a writer is difficult in itself because a lot of the time it's a lot of headspace sort of stuff. Being a farmer and being a writer is quite contradictory in itself because you've got to be fairly practical.
A loose tooth, yay! All right, Bill.
But being a mum and a wife in the mix of that really complicates things. For me, the rural lifestyle is just the funny animals that you live with. They're just humour all wrapped up in fur. So this is Rousey, he's my teenage Kelpie. And then we've got Connie. Connie, come. And Connie was given to me when I wrote The Stockman by the community of Casterton because the book was set in Casterton. Definitely the landscape around me, you know, bird calls, dogs, the way they bustle in and annoy you and interrupt you, you know, all that kind of stuff feeds into my work. A lot of writers are insular sorts of people, and what better place is, for me than to live in an area like this where I can get away. You know, it helps me balance myself as an artist, I suppose. Hop up here, get away up. Get away up, come on. Way up, way up. Come, good girl. Most people say sheep are stupid, but I think if you think like that, you're going to have trouble. They're a wonderful, wonderful animal, and we take a lot of pride and a lot of care in our sheep. Sit. When Emily Flanagan hit the tree and her heart slammed out of rhythm, she didn't hear the rush of hooves as the other bush race riders belted past her, nor did she hear her silver grey mare Snowgum roar in agony, screaming out a hideous guttural sound. As the mare's riverstone hooves flowered the air on the dusty bank, Emily was lost to the smell of blood of both horse and human. I think when you create characters as an author, you put a little bit of yourself into everyone in some way, even the darker sorts of characters. I like to have characters that feel very real on the page and who cover a cross-section of ages so that my readers, whether they're 18 or whether they're 80, they can find someone within the pages that they can really relate to themselves. Very few of my peers read books. They're not readers. So from day one when I sat down to write Jillaroo, I wanted it to be a page turner, short, sharp chapters that had action in it so that I would keep people interested that don't normally read. And that's been the reward in my career so far, is hearing the number of people that have picked up my books and read them to the end, and it's been the first book they have ever read in their lives. Well, I think it began at school. I was an absolute daydreamer at school. I just didn't pay attention at all, and I'd be off in a novel in my head somewhere. I was absolutely in love with My Brilliant Career as a young girl. Miles Franklin's novel really sealed the deal for me. That was when I knew I was going to write books. And now I'm lucky enough to live in Tassie, where I have people like Heather Rose, Rosie Dubb, Richard Flanagan, Danielle Wood. There's a host of Tassie writers that I really delve into and enjoy. You name it, I read it. I'll read the back of a Weet-Bix box and find amusement in that. So I'm just a really wide reader. My new book is called The Cattleman's Daughter. It's about a cattleman's daughter who falls in love with a parks ranger. And that in itself, I guess, encapsulates the whole issue of alpine grazing, which is something our own family has had to face. The Cattleman's Daughter, I guess, it has that political edge, but it's also looking at holistic land management and balance and communication between them and us. It's trying to bring the them and us and find a solution. I think people, again, will find comfort from this novel because, again, it is one of hope. Some of the main issues that I'd like to weave into my novels in the future will be how the face of farming needs to change with with global warming and climate change. We as farmers are responsible for so much land mass that we need to really have paradigm shifts in thinking, and I'm hoping I can inspire people in that line. You know, I think so many of us have lost touch with that earth element of life, and we're all running around to, you know, drive nice cars and have widescreen TVs, and all that stuff just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter a jot. You know, it's your love and your family and the food that you put in your body. That's what counts, you know, that essence of life. And I suppose if I can give glimpses of that in my book, which are kind of wrapped up in a, you know, in a romance sense for people that don't normally read, well then maybe I'm giving something back to the world. Who knows? It's all the big dream of Rachael Treasure, but it's fun.
Every farm needs a good work ute like this baby. But times change and often you need to upgrade, I reckon. Check out my new pride and joy. Oh my goodness, that is magnificent. Can I have a ride?
Sure, jump in. We'll go to the pub. We'll have a bundy.
Well, let's go.